All right, good afternoon, On Time Ministry, and welcome to the Grief Process Holiday Moment. I was supposed to put holiday mood, but holiday moment. This is the time of the year, ladies and gentlemen, and children. It's very difficult for so many people. This is where On Time Ministry really pushes with the grief process, and we talk about this. And this is the second year On Time Ministry is doing it. I wasn't able to get on yesterday, but I'm here today. To God be the glory. It's every day. Yesterday was a busy day for me, and I didn't have time to get on here to talk to you. Also, I'm streaming live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook today. And I just want to come on here and give you some words of encouragement during this holiday season. Uh, See, it's hard during the holidays because when you think about Thanksgiving, you think about it in a different aspect, or the familiar aspect, I should say. And you get very teary eyed and emotional. As for me, I would say that every time somebody say Thanksgiving, it kind of hits my heart a little differently now. Thanksgiving won't ever be the same for me at all. Um, it's quite different now. It's a feeling that I wouldn't wish on nobody because once traditions and things have changed, it's honestly hard for you to kind of really feel any type of normalcy in your life. Grief does lessen at some point, but it does surface back up again, like you just start the whole process again over and over again for the rest of your life. Um, why am I being mindful? Because everybody has different paths in terms of how their grief is going and where is it going. This is the time right now. We have to show empathy. We have to be selfless and show kindness to those, including myself, who go through this around the holiday times. It's very difficult. I encourage you all to just show people love. Just demonstrate love. It may be a sentimental card, how to say it, a card that brings joy to their heart. It may be a letter you may write to them, or they may need somebody to bring them a Thanksgiving meal, or you just call and they just want to pour their heart. When you're grieving, they need somebody to listen to them. They need to feel validated. They need to feel loved and appreciated. And a lot of them, they seek out getting pets like dogs, cats, or something to feel that love them. And they need to feel that. And the holiday times may be exciting for most, but many, it's just another day. So I want to give you a word of encouragement on time ministry here. So it's 28 points I want to share with you. All right. The first one is feeling your feelings, feeling them, feeling all of them. Don't apologize for the way you feel. Don't expect others to understand. You feel what you feel because it's what you feel. And it's okay. It's okay because you're expressing how you feel while you're going through your grief process. Many may want you to be happy, many may want you to get out of the rut, but when your heart and your mind are in different places, it's not going to work. They can do everything and anything to get you to laugh, you just not, but when you hurting. And many will not understand that because they're not in your heart and in your mind. When your mind is cloudy and your heart is heavy and you can't function, you have to let all this out. The sadness, the rage, the disappointment, all these things are going to happen. You're expressing your emotions by how you're feeling. Many of you be like, get over it. You can't get over something that nobody else want to get over. It has to go through a processing stage. And for many people out there, it's a long process. And for many of them, it's a life journey process, I should say. Encourage people and show empathy. It's so important because they need that. All right. Number two, be specific and write out your emotion. Many might write out their emotion, may vocalize their emotions, whatever it is. Make sure you let your emotions out. Don't keep it bottled inside. But the more you let them out, it may be crying, it may be screaming, yelling, whatever it is. As long as you're doing it and you're not you're not doing any harm to yourself. That's a very, very important key to let those emotions out. If you have to watch a sad movie or listen to a sad song, whatever it is that help you. For me, the grief journey started a long time ago with me when I was legit, or I should say a little kid. But as a child, your perspective is different than an adult, so you don't really comprehend it very well. So you just kind of just going with the moment. Well, that's my experience. I was kind of going and just say, okay, this happened. I cried, I had my moment, but never really understood it clearly until I got older. So a child's perspective for grief is completely different. And I want to kind of touch on that too, since we're on this, since I got kind of jumped on this topic about children and holidays. See, children see things a lot differently than us as adults when it comes to the grief, their mood during the holiday time. And it really triggers them in a way, as well as the elderly generation and forth and so on. Since we going down the line here, I done started something, everybody. But children deal with things differently. They may not feel happy. They may not feel up to what they should. And that really triggers some things within them that gives them a different perspective. See, the eyes of a child is so different than ours because they're a child. And we're going to jump on this today. So we're going to be on here a little bit longer because I want to encourage everybody, man, woman, child, children, everybody getting a piece of this nugget today since I'm on here. Because it's very important to cover all the bases because everybody needs it. They need somebody to remind them that they're loved. They need somebody to remind them that they're appreciated. They need to be reminded that they are loved and appreciated in a different aspect. Give me a second, everybody. I'm gonna pull this up. So we're gonna go ahead and continue, and I'm gonna talk about the children, and we're gonna talk about the older generation. The next one is talks about don't resist your grief. What that means is just let it flow. Just let all the pain, the tears, all that come out. You need that time. Don't just bottle it in because the world doesn't want to hear it. That's the only way you're going to get through it when you let it out. Let it all the way out. It can be pretty brutal. Your whole day, you think it was spirit. It's not wrapped around and revolved around the world. It's about you healing and growing and developing. It's about you healing and growing and developing and learning how to cope, learning how to live life in grief, and doing grief, a life journey of grief, and how to manage your grief accordingly. Number four, show yourself self compassion. Acknowledging that it's going to be hard to get through these holidays, and that's okay. If you feel up to going to a friend or a family or a home, go. But if you don't, give yourself a pass to stay home and not celebrate. It's okay not to celebrate Thanksgiving. It's okay to not be around friends and family. But give yourself permission to have compassion for yourself. Don't feel guilty that you wasn't able to attend because you seeing all your friends and family. They're happy and bubbly, but your heart and your mind is not in place. Never have somebody force you when you're not ready to. Never let people force you to do something when you're not ready to. If you're not up to it, that's okay. You have permission to do this for you. Number 5 says, take care of your body. It's very, very important in terms of grief that you take care of your body and your well being because you matter. You only know how you feel when you wake up in the morning. You know how you feel throughout the day with your body. You have to remind yourself that, hey, I got to take care of my physical well being as well as my mental. I need to eat right, drink plenty of water, keeping myself moving, go outside and get some fresh air and some sunlight, and just be at one with yourself. You may have a podcast or a favorite book or a favorite TV show that you may be looking at. But I encourage you all today that this really helps. I've practiced this and I'm going to go ahead and share my story. Again, for those who just started following me on this platform, I lost my mother about 2 years and 3 months ago. And I went through this whole grief ordeal. I went through individual counseling. I went through group counseling. Then I went through a support group that helps with grief and have gives you tools and resources to help you navigate it. And then I was a part of another group of ladies that met up on Sundays. There was a different time zone, but they were sharing the things that they were going through, and they was really helping each other get through life situations, I should say. They need resources for rent or housing or resources for food or places where they can get some type of assistance to help whatever they may be dealing with in their personal lives. And it was very helpful because you know that you're not alone in your grief. And most people say you are alone when you take that journey. But when you begin to open up your mouth and begin to start reaching out, you believe that so many people out here go through this every holiday, every Christmas, Thanksgiving, every New Year, every birthday, every anniversary. And not really, there's resources out there to help you. Everybody has a journey, and that journey is for you to heal and surviving. But everybody's mindset is not the same way. I think it was good. A lot of people go by the worldly perspective of things. God is there for the brokenhearted. He cares about each and every last one of us. It may not seem like it a lot of times, everybody, but when you talk to your Father, which is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, He is there. He's visible. People who are believers and non-believers, whatever your reference is, just know that God is still loving, and still loves you and cares for you. I think it's good. You just need to open your heart and open your eyes. All right. Ask for help and support. It's very important to ask for help and support. If you don't know or what to do, I highly recommend counseling. I highly recommend group counseling. I highly recommend getting in grief books or being in support groups for the beginning of your process. And you can always jump in and out of those support groups as needed when you need that extra boost to help you deal and cope with your grief. I highly recommend that. Most people say, I'll handle it the way I handle it. But guess what? At the end of the day, you got to stop allowing others to define who you are and start defining who you are. And what that means is you start putting things to work for yourself. What works for you works for you. See, everybody can give you an opinion. Everybody can give you an advice. Everybody can give you an idea. Everybody can give you all these different factors. But what is it that's working for you that's going to help you move forth in the journey of your grief? That's the magic question, ladies and gentlemen and children. Okay. The next one talks about tell others what you need as specifically as possible. So, for instance, here's an example. When you experience loss on special days, you have a full permission to know what was, what is, and what you want the future to be in honor of the person who cannot make it. So, what you talking about here is memories. You want to create something that's momentum for people, and that momentum is going to help them out tremendously. So when I tell you, you may have significant losses after losses, And most people talking about you're gonna be all right. Listen, let's just be honest. The grief is ongoing battle. The hurt, the pain that you're feeling inside is real. The tears that you're crying is real. You have to you have to give yourself permission to be freely to express yourself in a way. If you have to be distant or you have to disconnect from social media or just anybody for that day, I highly recommend it. Why? Because you need to take time to heal you. You need to heal you. Who do you look at in the mirror when you wake up in the morning? Yourself. What is the reflection of yourself? What is yourself telling yourself? What are you saying to yourself every day when you get up in the morning? What are the positive things that you're sharing in your life? This is real. Grief is real. And there's some people today, right now, are so embarrassed or ashamed because people are completely just ignoring that, hey, there's somebody's going through something 10 times worse than me. We got to be grateful and thankful for everything we have. See, think of spirit. There was a time I was on this side of the wall. I didn't understand grief. I taught it years ago. Well, I should say a few years ago. But I didn't really get the full understanding about grief until I walked in those shoes. And when I tell you, it's a whole nother world when you walk in those shoes. It's a whole nother world. You look at things differently than others. You feel differently. You begin to vibe differently. You spend a lot of time just reflecting, thinking about all the things that took place and all the things that you how would I say it, dealt with. And I tell you, the things that you are experiencing is completely normal. All right. Got two more. Honor them with a special tradition. So you may want to do something special for your loved one. And you may want to make Thanksgiving oh, I remember this Thanksgiving because my auntie or my mother or my father or my sister or my brother or my husband, they did something so significant on that day. As I'm encouraging you all, I'm putting some things in my head too about this special tradition, something different, something to keep their memory alive. It's very hard, but it's an option to try. Okay, it's an option. I'm gonna give you one more. I'm going to talk about our babies. Starting a new tradition. That is probably the hardest thing this point on. And for me, I'm starting a new tradition with my own family. For years, we've always had Thanksgiving dinner and turkey and dressing and potato salad and everything. But those last 2 years were horrible for me. I didn't like Thanksgiving. Didn't enjoy it. It didn't feel the same. I was so broken. Everything was just so numb. It was painful and it was very hurtful to be around. And I just want to encourage you all that starting a new tradition, I recommend that to the people. I mean, a lot of us don't like change for so many different reasons because we're used to how things work. But the choice is up to you to start a new tradition, to start a new legacy for yourself and your family. Either you're single or married. Number 11, honor old tradition and memories. Honor it and remember it. Embed the new tradition and put the old ones in there. But kind of, you're going to mix max it a little bit. Do something that you never experienced before, or something you never dealt with. These are some very important key points, everybody, that I'm sharing with you all this afternoon. All right, everybody, I'm looking at the time and I'm not trying to bore you all, so I'm going to get right to it. Children, grief, and the holidays. Acknowledge and tend to your own feeling needs, children. Be gentle with yourself. Allow children to be who they are. Don't get angry, get upset. Let them have their time. Prepare children for a painful feeling that might arise during the holidays. Those things that happen, let it happen naturally. Be open and invite connection and creativity. Start doing some things that is different for them. Include memories of the deceased in your holiday celebration, like holiday cards, special gifts, just something to just keep the momentum going. Gather around, share memories and stories. Light a candle in memory of the loved one who passed on. Healing through giving. See, you may want to start a nonprofit, or you may want to start a foundation of your loved one, and you want to make Thanksgiving or even any holiday, I should say, you want to share the love that loved one left with you, and you want to share with the world so the world can see how amazing this person was. This is the time right now, everybody. We have to practice gratitude. We have to practice being thankful and grateful for everything we have. We have to be humble and obedient. It's a lot that takes entails, and a lot of people are like, "What are you talking about, Pastor Johnson?" You have to be grateful. You have to practice gratitude in all aspects of your life. It's hard sometimes to see the forest from the trees, but once you cut through those forests and walk through those trees, you begin to understand it differently. Grief and depression for our older adults during the holidays. A new norm, or should a new normal. Sadness during the holidays. It's a struggle. It's a very, very painful situation. Signs that there are indications or inclines of depression include constant sadness, tearful moods, loss of interest in things they used to like, weight loss and gain, increase and decrease of motor function, feeling of hopelessness or guilt, recurring thoughts of death or insomnia or constant fatigue. These are the real extreme things that you will go through. And some depression can lead to real serious matters. And it's very serious, ladies and gentlemen. It's very serious. So we're going to do a part two on next week, everybody, because this is very important. So next week will be a pre-recorded broadcast. So it'll be shared and posted on Instagram or Facebook and uploaded on YouTube. So that way everybody can tune in on that Thanksgiving Eve and Thanksgiving Day. So it'll be replayed twice. Okay, so that way for those who missed that Wednesday, you can watch it that Thursday because it's going to be run and shared again. Also, to One Time Ministry, there is services this upcoming Sunday at 7 a.m. However, there will be no Bible study this upcoming week coming up, and there will be no services the following Sunday. So just making you aware, everybody. So I love you all. God bless you all. All right, everybody. You all have an amazing and a wonderful day. God bless you all and have an amazing day. And I'll talk to you all later.